plugged in there. All right, guys, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Woo-hoo! Yeah. We have Sally joining us here on Zoom, and I know we have some friends joining us on Facebook and on Instagram, so wherever you're joining us, thanks for tuning us in on Thursdays. So, yay. We're going to get started grabbing our glass of wine, and tonight we are drinking some Went. It is a Cabernet. And I bought actually these little bottles. I found them, and they're kind of nice, a little bit smaller. Do you mind grabbing the bottle behind you?
Yeah.
Just to show comparison for sizes. So we do have the normal size, your 750 ml. This is the little 375 ml. So this is gonna be what's called a split normally. And I just thought they were really cute because sometimes we don't always drink a whole bottle in class.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah. So I figured, hey, why not try something maybe a little bit different? So we have had this Sterling before. I know you guys have seen us drinking that before.
And about prices?
This is normally like a $15 to $18 bottle, like normal size.
Okay.
I got this on special, I want to say, for like $6 or $7.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's a nice Cabernet from 2005. So, a little bit older.
Let's see.
And remember, guys, if you feel like drinking anything else during class, please feel free. You don't have to drink alcohol. You can drink tea, you can drink water, you can drink anything. Doesn't matter. Kombucha.
Yeah.
Margaritas.
Why not?
Beer. Whatever. So,
yeah.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and toast ourselves today. Take a little sip and enjoy. So cheers to you. Thank you so much for joining class.
Sadly, you have to. Yeah, nice.
She's
Is
got some
water
white wine. No.
or white?
She's got some water.
Yeah, well, nice. Cheers.
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 Alexa, skip song. All right. All right, guys, so we've been working a little bit on the last couple of weeks on our crow pose. So that is an arm balancing pose. I hope that you guys have been having fun learning that with us. Tonight, we're going to maybe try a little bit on talking about our headstand. So that is going to be a little bit for the neck and a little bit for the hands, the arms. It's an all-body workout. So I just want to give that little heads up so that way through our practice tonight, if you know we're going to be coming into that part of our handstand practice, I want you to really please listen to yourself and know where you can go and as far as you want to push yourself and challenging yourself. I don't know how much you've been drinking today, so if you're having fun, I want you to be smart here. We don't want any injuries, we don't want anything like that. So we're going to kind of break things down and work things slowly, okay? So please feel free to comment, or if you need to take a pause in your practice at any time, feel free. All right? Lou, how you feeling today? You got anything going on?
I feel good. I feel good. Yes, maybe a little bit shoulder, but I'm nice.
Yeah? A little tightness in the shoulders?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that here we have a super cold temperature, and sometimes I don't realize, but I'm tense on it.
Yeah, we get tense a lot of times, and like a lot of people with rheumatoid arthritis during this time, when the cold comes in, their bones and their muscles and everything starts to ache, and you feel a little bit of pain. So yeah, definitely time to take for ourselves and be able to kind of listen and, hey, what's going on? Are my wrists hurting? Because my shoulder is a little tense on this side. I broke my collarbone many years ago snowboarding, so every winter I get a little bit of tightness right here. It reminds me. So we can work on that. Yeah. Sally, anything going on that you would like to work on tonight? Absolutely. Yeah, we can. I love it. Okay. Yeah, we can break that down actually a little bit more. So since maybe you want to talk about handstands, we can talk about that instead of headstands. And just break it down a little bit since that is my challenge. Thank you for remembering. I really appreciate that. You're awesome. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about how important it is for the hands, the shoulders. And also the core. The core is definitely probably the hardest because, so as Sally here is talking about, she has her hands and her arms extended and she's trying to kick up her feet, but nothing's really happening. So a lot of that activation really happens in that core. Now, since this is a wine and yoga class, don't worry, we're not going to kick your butt too much. We're not going to get that core fired up extremely hot, but we are going to focus on firing up that core just a little bit. So with that heads up, if you don't feel comfortable drinking a lot of wine during class, feel free to keep that glass in a safe spot to the side. And if you want to take a couple sips during class, that's okay too. But yeah, Sally, we'll definitely talk about the handstand options for us to get a little more comfortable and get a little bit more solidified in that practice, for sure. I love it. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll get on started for class tonight. So let's get into a comfortable spot on our mats. If you have a blanket, a block, or something you can put underneath you to be able to sit comfortably, please feel free. We're going to go ahead and wiggle ourselves into a nice spot. And then let's go ahead and inhale the shoulders up, back, and down. And let's close our eyes. Taking some time to bring ourselves inward, let go of all those external thoughts, concerns, trying our best to move forward with our breath. Inhale, expand through your rib cage, the front, the sides, the back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Notice if you are holding on to any tension or stress in your body. Exhale. See if you can release that tension. Moment by moment, breath by breath. Just beginning to allow yourself to slow down. We have so many things that are going on in our lives, from ourselves to the people that we love, to our work, which may or may not be the people we love. Hopefully it's somewhere in between. Whatever it is that might be creating a little bit of chaoticness in your mind, try to let it go. Even in this moment, the art of allowing yourself to just be. Breathe in a little bit deeper, expand through your belly, draw air deeper into your lungs. Exhale, contract the belly, blow that air out. Your breath is the most important part of your practice, so connect with it here, connect with it now. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Let it all go. If your inhales or exhales have sound, that's okay, that's good. That means you need that release. Let's take a couple of more here together. One more. Release your hands to the side and then find your next inhale to reach them up towards the sky. Join your palms together and release them to your heart center. Take a nice gentle bow forward. Let's create an intention for practice. And what is an intention? A reason, a purpose, why you feel you came onto your mat tonight. Inhale, exhale, release that positive intention outward. As you inhale, reach the crown of your head upward. And before we open our eyes, hold on to that intention one more time. Or maybe really truly create it right here, right now. Maybe you're creating focus for the rest of your day, the rest of your week, or positive energy, or creating healing properties for those around you. wherever it is. Inhale it big. Exhale, open the eyes. Awesome. Good job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and interlace those fingers. Inhale. Exhale, push the hands away. Try to roll your shoulders down and away from your ears and try to relax here. Nice job. Inhale, reach up with your hands. Exhale, pull your shoulders down. Inhale, lift up with your hands. Exhale, release the hands and pull the elbows into cactus. Beautiful. Inhale, open your hands. Exhale, close your hands. Breathe energy into them as you open and exhale, close. With intention and strength, close. Inhale and exhale. Ready? Inhale, open and up with the hands. Cross-legged, seated, forward fold. Reach with the hands forward first. Plant the hands. Reach with the chin forward and then release the forehead down to the mat. So by doing this, just keeping a nice elongation in our spine so we can try to keep our hips down on the floor. Nice. Yeah, Sally, relax your head, relax your shoulders. Alexa, play Sunset Chill. Take 2 more breaths right here. Try to walk the hands out a little bit more. Just forward. And inhale, let's go ahead and roll ourselves back up to seated. And come into seated cat-cows. Feet in front, hands to knees. Or if it's better to have them underneath your hips, you can do that too. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Inhale, reach forward, chest and chin. Exhale, round back. Chin comes in towards your chest. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round back. Move with your breath. So maybe your motion is happening a little bit more than mine, or a little bit less, a little faster, a little slower. That's okay. Just roll with yourself here. That is literally the key to your practice, is finding what works for you, not what we think works for everybody else. And let's take 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, neutral position. Nice job here, guys. We're going to actually work on the legs in a seated side stretch and the side bodies. So with the knees still bent, I want you to just bring your knees down to the floor so your left leg is bent in front and your right knee is bent in back. So we're coming right into stag pose here a little earlier in practice. How's this feel, okay?
See, perfect.
Switch it up just a little bit here. All right, let's go ahead and bring your right hand down to the floor onto the outside of your foot. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, take it over. Nice. Keeping sure that our heart is reaching forward. Yes, beautiful adjustment, just like that. Nice. Let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale, float that arm up, and exhale, float it down. Nice. Now let's take it over just a little bit here. Inhale. Now we're just going to come into a stretch. We're not going to go all the way to the floor. So you're going to exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee. A little different than what we normally do, okay? Now your left hand is just going to reach to the side a little bit more, and you're going to look over your back shoulder. Yeah? Nice. Exactly. Good job. Yeah, so just changing it up a little bit. I know if you guys have been in class before, we usually come down to the floor here. We're just changing it up, and we're going to add this twist. Inhale, 1 more. Exhale, melt back to your center. I want you to extend your right leg in front. So now you're still facing the front of your mat. Make sure both sitting bones are on the floor. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elongate your upper body along your right leg. Nice. Now try your best, as we tend to hold the shoulders up here. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Nice. Perfect. Good job. This is also really helpful if you do have a blanket or a lift underneath your hips. This can be really nice here as we're starting our practice. A lot of times we tend to kind of come into this pose at the end of practice after we've done vinyasa flow. So I'm just changing it up and allowing ourselves to use that bolster or that support. Ready?
Yeah.
Inhale, come up. Now let's stretch out that right hip. So left hand comes to the floor, to the outside. Your right hip and leg lift slowly as your right toes push into the floor. And we lift ourselves up slowly, float it up. The more you can keep lifting your upper hip, your right hip drops. Your right hip lifts and your left hip drops a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. Let's come on down. Awesome. If you want to take a sip of your wine here, you're more than welcome to. Cheers. Or your water, or your beer, or your tea. Cheers. Cheers. Let's go ahead and switch sides before we're going to come into a little vinyasa, okay? So right knee bends and left knee comes behind. And again, if you have a blanket, you can kind of lift yourself onto that blanket to help a little bit as well. Alexa, play Sunset Chill. She doesn't want to listen to me today. Left hand outside to the left foot. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, shift it over. And as we do so here, Sally, relax your shoulder from your ear. Yeah. So as we're here, try to relax the shoulder away. Nice. Very beautiful. One more breath. Inhale, come up. And exhale, float it down. All right, let's come into the seated stretch. Twist. Inhale. Left arm up. Exhale, look over to the right. Left hand comes to the right knee. Right hand opens up a little bit more as you twist back. And bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Let's take a couple of more breaths here. Alexa, play Yoga Mix.
Yoga from Spotify.
One more. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Take a moment. And let's bring our left knee and extend it forward. Single-legged forward fold. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, and bring yourself forward. So opposite side here. Alexa, play DJ Drez.
This is DJ Drez from Spotify.
Sinking a little bit more through the upper spine, letting the shoulders relax. Let's take 2 more breaths. Nice job. Inhale, come on up. All right, lifting the left hip. So we're going to bring our right hand behind us to the outside hip, rolling slowly over onto your right knee. Lift your left hip up and extend your left arm up and out. Find what works for you here. Try to push those left toes into the mat. They like to come up sometimes, so push them down and feel yourself expand upward and outward. Two more. Inhale, exhale, float it down. All right, let's extend both legs. We're taking it a little differently today. Make sure you remove your blanket or your block from behind you if you've got one. And let's come into a reverse plank position. So walking the hands back behind you, fingertips facing you.
Okay.
Modification, I'll show you. You can bend the knees and keep them bent here. You keep your legs extended.
Okay.
How about that? I'll show the modification.
Perfect.
Inhale, lift your hips up. Keep lifting, bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. And if you can, bring the gaze back. 2 more. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, sink those hips down. Cross your legs, bring your hands in front of you. We're going to find plank position here. Hands in front, extend one leg at a time, and now we're in plank. Now reversing it, yeah? Okay, so working on shoulders, we're working on arms, now we're working on our core. So holding that breath, hopefully we didn't drink too much wine. There you go. All right, 2 more. 1 more. downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, drop your heels. Remove your blanket from you. So we're really lifting up through the hips. And if you need to walk your dog out, that means just pedaling the feet. So lifting one heel and then the opposite, yeah? Doing good there? Push into the hands, four corners of the palm, really spreading firmly. All right, now lift both heels up off the floor. Both heels. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release down. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release it down. Drop your knees, child's pose. So hands staying in front, hips sinking back. Inhale, breathe into your hands and walk the hands over to the right hand side of your mat. Last breath here. Walk your hands back to center. And then exhale, reach them over towards the left side of your mat. Yeah, just opposite side. Keep dropping the hips. Breathing. One more. Inhale, walk yourself back to center slowly. Exhale, take a moment. Inhale, lift yourself back into tabletop position. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And we're going to come back into downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips, and drop your heels. All right, from here, we're going to come into a standing forward fold. So you can either walk your hands to your feet or walk your feet to your hands.
Okay.
So I'm going to walk my hands back to my feet so you guys can see me. But you do whatever you would like to come into a forward fold.
Okay, I can do this.
Yeah. Shake the head out yes and no a couple times. Say yes and say no. Roll yourself up to a standing comfortable position. Inhale the shoulders up, back, and down. Nice. Beautiful. Celia, let's go ahead and bring our feet together, and we're going to go ahead and inhale. Arms are going to come up towards the sky. We're going to take 3 breaths, standing crescent moon pose, okay? So feet are together. We push into the big toes. Inhale tall. Exhale, take it over to your right side. Go this way first. Sorry. No, you're fine. Right side. Keep those hips nice and square to the front of your mat, making sure that our shoulders pull back. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left side. Try to keep those hips nice and square so when you're making this action, it's happening from your obliques. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, gentle back bend. So look at your hands first and then start to guide yourself back with the hands. Keep the core strong. So belly button pulled in. Push into your toes and lean back maybe just a tiny bit more. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Take a nice dive all the way down. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's find that vinyasa flow, guys. Ready? Extend the spine. Exhale, release the hands. Plant them into the floor. Find your plank. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. So coming into a lower push-up. Inhale, coming into a baby cobra or up dog. So pushing into the hands, elbows as close to the side body as you can, or extending the arms all the way into your up dog. Exhale, relax, and come back into your downward facing dog. All right. Working a little bit on our legs here. We're going to go ahead and come into a low crescent lunge, okay? So first, we're just going to try to test out our 2-legged dog today. I think we worked on that last week, didn't we? Yeah? With one hand and one foot?
Yes.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we do that, activating the core, I want you to look at your right foot. Lift your right heel up and drag your toes back. Then lift the right toes up just a little bit where you're comfortable. Inhale, look at your left hand. So opposite foot and hand. Lift your left palm up and see if maybe the left hand can start to come up, maybe one finger at a time, and see if you can find your version of a two-legged dog as best and fun. Don't forget to laugh. You got it, Sally. Yes. Inhale. Exhale. Lift a little bit more. Nice. And let's come back down. Woo. Slowly bring your right knee in through the chest and drop the right foot forward as the left knee comes down. Low crescent lunge. Okay?
Yes.
Feel warm?
Yeah.
Good. That's the idea here. We want to feel a little bit of heat today since we were wanting to work a little bit on the handstand preps.
Mhm.
We definitely want to feel warm. So in this moment, be proud of yourself. And also, if you want to cheers yourself, you can do that too. All right. So being very cautious that our knee is not going over our front ankle. I'm losing my words. Hello. Come up to your fingertips just a little bit more, and if it's accessible, we're going to bring the hands to the knee. Nice. Good job. All right, we're there. Stay here if you'd like, or for the next few breaths, bring it into a little bit of a twist. So bring your left elbow over towards your right knee. Little Hollywood stance. You can bring your finger to the chin for a pose. Or if you want to go a little bit more into a yogic pose, hands to prayer position, that we can open up through the elbows and then bring your gaze back behind you. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are. Nice, Sully. I love that smile. That was a beautiful smile right there. If my hands were free, I'd take a photo. All right, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to center. Hands are going to come to the floor, half split. Shift the weight back as the front leg extends. And we're going to do something a little bit different after this pose than we've normally done. So bear with me here. Really stretch out through your sciatic nerve. So I'm just going to change positions a little bit. I'm going to show how lose position here. Again, pulling your shoulders back as your chin comes forward. And then that way it brings your belly down towards your thigh more. So I'm just going to adjust myself sideways. Hopefully this can be a little bit of a help. But yeah, hips stay right above the knee and we come forward. We don't want to be here. That's not good. So we want to keep those hips lifted up. 2 more. You've got it here, guys. Feel that nice stretch along the back of the leg, back of the knee, the calf muscle. All right, now we're going to go ahead and shift our weight and try to work on a warrior 3 and pyramid pose from here. Okay? Very much different. So, coming in from here, I want you to walk your hands forward so that you're nice and firmly planted into your hands and your fingertips. Tuck your left toes and lift your hips up so you're extending your left leg. Nice. Walk your hands a couple more inches forward. Drag your left toes and then lift the toes up. Yes. Beautiful. Yes. Nice. Good job, Lou. Good job, Sally. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, if you want to lift your hands up off the floor, go for it. Beautiful. Try to keep those hips parallel. So as much as that left hip really wants to lift up, as you lift the toes, keep them as parallel to each other as you can. All right, guys, take 2 more breaths here. Now you're just going to step back with your left foot and come to standing in a pyramid pose, hopefully. But if you're not quite there, that's okay. We'll work on it. So, yep, we're here. So shorter stance than your warrior 1. Yeah? Now, hands to hips. Make sure they're parallel. Inhale. Exhale, lead with the heart and the chin. Reach forward, forward, and forward. And then when you're ready, you can let go of the hips and the hands can come to the floor or to blocks. We've got blocks handy. Those I can show. So our goal here, guys, is to really keep those hips pulled back towards the back of your mat. So we're going to square them just a little. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then from your hips, you're going to try to keep that nice elongation coming down the back. And if your hands come down to the floor, great. If not, use a block.
Knees drop or not?
Knee can be slightly bent. Not yet.
Yes.
There you go.
A little bit bent, okay.
Is that better?
More comfortable, yeah.
Perfect. That's what we want. And then, yeah, so you're using your shin. Perfect. That's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and take one more. Beautiful. All right, bend into your front knee. Place your hands on the floor. Vinyasa flow. So step back with your right and inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, lift your hips, come back into your downward facing dog. How's that feel? Amazing. Good stretch. Deep, 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 but amazing for the legs. Oh my gosh. All right, let's take that to the opposite side. So coming back into our two-legged downward dog. So look at your left foot. Lift your left heel as you bend your knee and then drag the toes back. And then start to lift. Don't worry how far they are. It's okay. Maybe they're only an inch off the ground, and that's okay. Now look at your right hand. Lift the right palm up as the fingertips firmly place into the floor. And maybe lift one fingertip at a time, seeing what feels good, and making sure you're not sacrificing your balance as you lift one foot and one hand. And have fun, right? It's okay if we fall. It's okay if we stumble. The most important thing is to learn how to do it gracefully. Nice. 1, 2, and 3. Release. Bring your left knee through the center line. Come into that low crescent lunge as you drop that knee down. Make sure that front knee is not going over the ankle. Come up to your fingertips. And here's your another chance to have a sip of your wine. Or your beer or your tea. Come up to your knee with your hands if that's also available. All right. Taking it through. And again, if your knee on the floor on the back is any kind of sensitive, you can always keep those toes tucked like I am here, as well as keeping a blanket or even rolling your mat over a little bit if that knee is giving you any kind of issues. Okay, let's go ahead and bring right elbow to the left knee, coming into that twist. And be kind if this side feels different. Looking over your back shoulder. Take a couple more right here, guys. Love it, live it. Remember your intention. Why did you come to your mat today? Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands to floor. Lift your hips and straighten your front leg. Doesn't have to be completely straight. You can have a small bend and half split here. Alexa, skip song. And Alexa, volume up. Keep pulling those hips back. Very similar to your pyramid pose, right? So a lot of the time the tendency is from here, for one hip to kind of get off a little bit than the other. So we really want to try to keep those hips nice and parallel to get deep into that leg. Deep into those muscles. All right, let's take 2 more breaths. Shift your weight back forward into the front foot. So your left foot, hands come onto the floor. You're gonna lift your back knee up, come to your fingertips and start to lift your right toes and drag them forward. And if it feels good, walk your hands forward and then lift the toes up. Remember, if your toes don't want to come off the floor, that's okay. Leave them on the back there, push into your hands, and find your modification for your warrior 3. Keeping the back elongated, so nice and straight, and trying to keep that back leg, your left leg, strong, and your lifted leg nice and light. Good job. Nice, Sally. Keep anchoring into your big toe. Try to draw your lifted hip down just a little. Yeah, nice. One more. Ready? If your hands are on the floor, just gently bending your knees, dropping your back foot down, find your pyramid pose. So you can bend your knees first, hands can come to your hips as then you stand up. So just another option for you to come into your pose. Now, look at your feet. If your feet are in one straight line, awesome. If they're not quite and they're in 2 separate planes, that's okay too. Look at your back heel. If it's a little bit at an angle, I want you to draw the heel back so it's actually straight. Okay. So heel back. Yes. Nope, opposite. Nope, opposite. Oh, sorry. This way. I know, feels weird, huh? Mm-hmm. So facing forward, inhale, hold onto your hips, exhale, pyramid pose. Lead with your heart and your chin. Butt and hips are pushing back. Chest and chin, reach, 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 reach. Exhale, release. This is a great runner stretch, as well as we move into ski and snowboard season. This is one of my favorites. And you can adjust this pose however you feel on a regular basis. So if you feel you need a smaller stance or a shorter stance, you can adjust it here. Now see, Lou, you can pull this left towards me. Yes. No, just the hip. Just this.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
No.
Totally different, yeah.
Just that little tiny.
It's crazy because it's a little adjustment and makes a incredible difference.
Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, so Sally, same thing. Try to pull your left hip back just a little. So a lot of the times when we're here, as we are going forward, this hip comes out or over. So just try to pull it back into place, just a little. Nice. Yes, I love the use of the hands. That was awesome. Does that feel a little different? Yeah, just a little. Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. One more smooth, long breath here. All right. Inhale, bending into the knee. Exhale, plant the hands. Vinyasa flow again. So step back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Or baby cobra. So your choice there. Exhale down. Take it through to your downward dog. So maybe you have a modification coming to your knees, child's pose, and then lifting up. There are options for your flow. Nice.
Little jump.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and come to our knees, and let's just take a look at the screen for just a couple of moments. We're going to talk about our handstands. Yeah. Hopefully we're feeling nice and warm. If you are already practicing your handstands and or your headstands, feel free to try to jump right into your practice. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some exercises for our handstands. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about a couple of different options. So as I've been progressing through my handstand challenge, been having fun and just trying my best to learn about how I can actually be strong in my foundation. So today we'll start working on hands first and shoulders. So good exercises for us is going to be from our downward dog into plank and then back. So doing that a few times. We can do that here together if you'd like. And then once we've done that a few times, we're gonna work on walking up into pikes, because that is what's gonna build us our strength for kicking up. So I know, Sally, you said that you were having some problems, you were coming up and you were kicking and there wasn't much going on. So a lot of the times we have to build the strength not only in our shoulders, but in our core, so when we actually kick the legs up, they have something to do once they're up. Yeah? So I'm gonna borrow this space, Lou, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just to kind of show the side view just a little. Okay, so coming in from our downward facing dog, we're gonna work on just walking those feet up as far as we can until we feel like we're almost inverted and holding. Yeah? This right here is a little intense. And this is what's gonna help you learn your, not only your kick-ups for strength, right? So we're gonna go ahead and work on 5 of those here together and holding for 5 reps or some version of that, okay? So let's go ahead and come into plank. Come into downward facing dog. Actually, you want to do it? Just do it right next to me, right here.
Yeah?
Yeah. This way.
I don't want to.
No, you're fine. Come this way. Same as me. Same. Okay, come same as me. Yeah. Okay, let's come in from our downward dog and let's go ahead and inhale. Exhale, come to plank. So those warm-ups on the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Come into plank. Or downward dog. Sorry. Inhale. Exhale. Come to plank. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Inhale. Exhale. Come to plank. Inhale. And exhale. Come back into your downward dog. Last one here, guys. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your hips up. All right, now let's work on the pike, okay? So look at your hands for a moment. Make sure they're nice and square. Sorry. Look at your toes. Start to walk your toes and your feet up. Really, really short downward dog. Right to where you start to feel that nice activation in your spine and in your core. So it's not a forward fold. It's not quite downward dog. It's somewhere in between. Try to come up to your toes. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Walk your feet back. Child's pose. Nice, I know. You feel the burn? I'm already feeling warm. I'm sweating a little bit. It's probably sweating all the wine out. Yeah? So practicing that together, guys. If you want a couple more times, so holding for those 5 rests. If your practice is a little bit more advanced, you can always use a wall next to you to help with these pikes. This is something that I was practicing, I think, yesterday in my videos. So the pike that we were just talking about, but you can do a wall walk. So you hold your, you break things, and then you hold, and allow yourself to find that pike. See, now adjusting the hands and the upper body properly, and holding there. Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice, Sally. Good job. Try to walk your feet down just an inch. I can see them in the. Yeah! Nice. Now the key is there to start working on that and holding it for a couple of longer breaths each time. And then that way when you practice your kick-ups, you'll start to notice more strength and more endurance because you're already building that strength here. Good job. Yeah. All right. Is that your son right there?
Yay!
Oh, keep healing, my friend. Doing good. The road will get easier. Keep strong. Positive vibes. All right, guys, let's come on down to our mats. Returning back to our practice here. If you've been practicing your handstand against the wall or on your mat, take a moment and let's come into child's pose. Stretch out those arms. So remembering to be happy with all the things that you've just accomplished here today. Sometimes having goals for bigger options or poses takes time to build the foundations. So knowing that it's just like learning to surf. Most of us that we surf for the first time may not stand up the first time, and accepting that and learning that it's okay. And being happy with the progression. Just like a handstand. You may not hold your handstand for the first time that you try it, but the fact that you have the motivation and the interest and the energy, live in that positivity. Massage your forehead, right and left. Inhale, and let's exhale. Inhale, lifting yourself back up. Let's go ahead and find puppy pose. So stretching out the shoulders. So make sure you have space on your mat. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. You walk your hands forward and you drop your forehead down to the mat. This is that one we can really get our booty in the air as much as we want to comfortably. And trying our best to melt through the spine. And our target is in between our shoulder blades. All right, take one more full breath. Inhale, come back up to center, and I want you to come all the way onto your belly, onto your mat. A little different to stretch out our spine here. Shoulders, hands underneath your shoulders directly. We're going to come into a baby cobra. We're going to break it down even more. Yeah? Okay, so lift your chin and your gaze forward. Lift the heart a little bit more, and then lift the hands. That's as much activation as we want in our spines when we're coming into our up dogs, just the same, right? So when you're coming into those, that's that same feeling here. Release, exhale, let go. All right, let's start one more time. Inhale, chin comes to the floor, and then lifts, the chest lifts, and then the hands lift. And we keep pushing into the tops of the feet on the floor. Keep lifting. Keep lifting. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. Keep the feet on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, let go. Turn that opposite side. Nice work. All right, our last spinal flexion here. Inhale, bring the chin back forward. And we're going to see if we can bend one foot at a time and grab onto it with one foot. So we're coming into our bow pose on the floor. If you feel comfortable in doing just one at a time, you can do that. Or you can do both feet. Your choice. Nice. Wiggle it into place. Now roll your shoulders back. Lift your chin, lift your chest, and hold on to your feet. Here we are in our bow pose. Awesome. Good job. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. Try to remember to smile, as painful as maybe this feels on the shoulders. Hopefully not painful. Good stretching. And if it feels you can bring the chin a little bit further out, maybe the chest, maybe push the feet, maybe you're going to lift the knees. Maybe there's a little rock because you're breathing. 2 more. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, gently let all of your limbs go. Hands. Turn your head. Shake the hips a little bit. How's that feel?
Amazing.
Feel good? Yeah.
It's like complete stretching.
It is. Amazing. Okay, coming back to our child's pose, and then we'll find rabbits. So hands come underneath. Lift yourself up into a half split, and then shift your weight back into your child's pose. Don't forget your breath here. And then we're going to find rabbit's pose. So rabbit's pose, I'm just going to turn sideways so you guys can hopefully see me a little bit more. Rabbit's pose is just like child's pose, only your hands come to your heels. Your forehead stays on the floor first. Then with your inhale, you lift your hips, holding onto your heels with your hands, you roll to the top of your head. So you're really bringing the vertebrae of your spine up, similar to your cat posture, but here you're connected hands to heels. Really rounding the spine and flexing it outward. Exhale, release it down. Nice. Inhale, arms are going to come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Hands come behind you now. Let's go ahead and work on those ankles. I'm just going to shift a little forward. So you're going to walk your hands to your toes, and you're going to lift those knees up as the chest just gently reaches out. Lift. Exhale, release, gentle, slow. Lift just even a tiny bit, doesn't have to be far. Massage the ankles. Nice work, guys. Awesome. Hands come to the side. Shift your weight onto your hips and bring both feet in front of you. Face the front of your mat. Double-legged, seated forward fold. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale. Oh, reach it forward. Nice work. How you feeling? Feeling good?
Good. Very nice.
We extend ourselves into our seated forward fold, just talking a little bit about our future moving forward. We've got our last giveaway, or not last, but second to last giveaway of the year, our November giveaway, and we'll be announcing the winner the last Thursday of the month, which I think is next week, if I'm not mistaken, if it's not 2 weeks from now. Gosh, it's already the 19th. Time's flying by, right? Next Thursday, I think, is the last one. So, yeah. Announcing that winner. Selly was our winner last month. Thank you, Selly, so much for participating.
Your
Gift is on the
flies.
way.
I don't on the way.
It's
Exactly.
on the way. But we are definitely asking anyone that wants to participate, just post a photo of you doing your favorite yoga pose. It doesn't have to be a complicated one. That's the key. It's just a pose that you enjoy doing. Tag me, tag Tahoe Heartbeat, and we'll enter for your chance to win this month. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, let's come on back up. Our last reverse plank position. Hands come behind you, roll the chest, and lift the hips up as you push the toes down. If you need to drop the hips side to side a little bit, that feels kind of good too. You can do that. Little action. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale, drop it down. Let's cross those legs. Let's come to a comfortable seated position here. Let's inhale, reach the hands up, and join the palms together at the heart center. Let's close the eyes for a few moments here as we solidify our practice together. Breathing in, breathing out. See where you are in your mind and in your body. Is there any place that's still vibrating a little bit more energy than maybe you feel you need? Breathe in, reassure yourself. And exhale, release the negative energy out. All that stuff that we're holding on to, anything that serves you no purpose, take this time and really truly let it go. Creating space for all the things that make you happy, create peace and positivity. letting that breath flow freely in through the rib cage, expand through your belly, and exhale, let it go. And gently bowing our head forward, giving thanks for this time that we've given ourselves here today, giving thanks to this practice, and remembering to send gratitude to ourselves for all the amazing things that we have done, we will do, and have accomplished. Return back to that intention, your reason, your rhyme. Inhale it. Exhale it. Release all of that healing properties and powers out into those around you. That love, that positivity, maybe for yourself. And inhale, rising back up with the crown of your head. Let's slowly open our eyes. Thank you so much for coming to practice today, guys. Lighten me bows to the light in you.
Namaste. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you, Sally. Thank you for people from Facebook, Instagram,
and Zoom.
Ching ching. Ching ching. Salud. Sote. Thank you, Sally.
Very much. We appreciate you guys so much for participating, and we're always looking forward to hearing feedback and information. So feel free to always comment. And if you didn't catch class and you're watching this video on a replay, thank you. And don't worry, you can comment just because you watched it yesterday, the next day, or a week or a month from now. You can still comment and you can still let us know about the video that you liked or you didn't like, or you go, oh my God, you just broke something again. How many things are you gonna break? That's the fun part about life though, right?
I have a question.
Yes.
You have a new page.
Yes.
Born at this afternoon, I think so.
This afternoon.
Then what is your new page for Sally, and hope people knows a little bit more about you, about your work?
Yes. So a new website is now up with all of the links and info. So it's mountainyogi.com. That's MTN Yogi, YOGI.com. I'll put that link up for you guys. That way it's available for you. I think I posted some earlier today. But it has all the information that you need for the classes that are currently available. If you feel like making a donation, thank you very much. We appreciate it. It helps support us in our wine, our yoga.
Yeah, donation is just $3. It's amazing. It's nice. It's easy. Okay, perfect.
So all that stuff's on there, as well as the discount code for Tahoe Heartbeat. Bye, Sally. I see you're taking off.
Bisous.
Love you. Thank you. Best wishes to you and your son. Happy healing. He heals well. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Positive energy to you. Seriously. I hope he does well. I know he looked good.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yes.
Love
beautiful. Perfect. Perfect.
That's awesome. We need that photo.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you for all.
Okay. Yeah, for anyone else that wants to get a little discount on Tahoe Heartbeat, if you guys are shopping around, you like our clothing. I know I'm not wearing my Tahoe Heartbeat shirt today because I wore it last night, and working on my headstands, I got a little sweaty last night. But yes, they have all kinds of stuff, from shirts, tank tops, sweaters, beanies, hats, you name it, they've got it. We're working on a little, hopefully, collaboration with them, so you'll be seeing some of our own artwork in there soon. But for now, if you're shopping around and you want to save 10% on Tahoe Heartbeat, you can use Yoga 10 Gen, as well as, since you guys are watching this video and you guys came to class, hopefully, you can get a little bit more extra bonus. And you can type in yoga class for your little extra bonus. I'm not going to tell you what it is because you're going to have to enter that code in to do your own shopping to find out what that special code is, because it's definitely better than 10%. So, hey, do your little shopping, support locals. We appreciate it. We love it. And it means the world to us just to have anybody sharing the love and spreading the love, especially.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Jen. You are amazing. Classes hard but perfect.
It's okay today. I know.
we need to work. Yeah,
Handstands.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
See ya.
See you
Thank
later. All right, gonna end it here.